Low key, this is hilarious. Um, because I'm always gonna have this question, right? When you see the ladies up there, right, protesting, basically doing everything in their power to make sure that they do not have kids. You see the lady here with the bloody hangers. This is almost straight out of a Corey Holcomb joke. No, like this is straight out of a Corey Holcomb joke. She's literally as a sign of protest, uh, carrying bloody hangers. You cannot make this stuff up, man. I gotta get that. I'll say this. I gotta get that Kevin Samuels soundbite. But you see the news. The Supreme Court unanimously votes to preserve access to abortion pill mifepristone. Right. So it's interesting, right? Because I remember you even had like some women protesting me in the comments because I do believe, and I don't think it's a stretch to say, I believe most women want to be 304s, meaning they want to be just as promiscuous as men with no consequences. You know, I've said this 2 years ago when I was covering Meghan Markle, and she was complaining about, it's this, the same. It's always the same complaints from these 304s. Why can men do it but we can't? And I was like, out of all the things to complain about in your privileged ass life, you still crying about that. I mean, at the position that she's in, she's still crying about that. I was like, okay, this is ridiculous, right? But I always said most women, they want to be in a position, they want to be 304s. I say this because now that they're in a position of power, or they now where their vote matters, kind of, right? Now they have the position to make to do things. Have they been doing with their power? Advocating for abortion rights, advocating to be OnlyFans models without consequences and still be able to have jobs, right? And three, they're always arguing this point. Why can't we be 304s? Why can't we rack up mega body counts like men that they think that men are racking up mega body counts? So they're just talking about, why can't we rack up high body counts like the high status men do, but not be regarded as 304s. That's the only three things that they fight so hard for. So it's clear what the agenda is. To be able to be in these respectful places of power, but still be able to have sexual freedom without any consequences. That's the goal. That's clearly the goal. It's not about jobs. It's not even really about the money a lot of times, because women don't look at money the same way that men look at money. So let's read the shade room, right? The shade room report, whatever, what the description box says, right? Over this milestone, the Supreme Court milestone. Milestone. So Amani Monet is the reporter here. Wonder what she looks like. Yeah. Anyway, let me be respectful. Anyways, she says a win is a win for reproductive rights advocates. This morning, the Supreme Court rejected a lawsuit that sought to regulate access to the abortion pill, mifepristone. Today's ruling will continue to allow the pills to be mailed to patients without an in-person doctor's visit. The court ruled that the doctors and anti-abortion groups did not have standing to sue. Mifepristone is a 2-drug regimen used to end a pregnancy through 10 weeks gestation. It also permits non-physicians such as nurse practitioners to prescribe it and mail to patients. So you can get that joint on Amazon. that's the pill that Fresh was trying to get. That was the pill that Fresh was trying to give to that 304. And she was like, I'm religious. I don't want to kill my baby. You're just like, oh my God. And also, athletes, men of money, please be careful with this, because this doesn't change anything. You better be careful, because I'm telling you, they like, I don't care what you hear about 304s talking about, they don't want kids, and they want to make sure this abortion pill is still there. That's a fail safe. They need that as a fail safe switch. That's what they're using these things for, as fail safe switches. When they realize they're reproducing with a man that isn't who they thought they were, or if they kept the dude, they kept the baby, they kept it just to see if they can keep him around, and then they find out he's not going to do that. So that's just a fail safe switch. You better be careful. If you're a man with nice genetics, if you a man that she caught feelings for during sex, if you're a man, but specifically targeting men with means, or men of status. If you get one of these 304s, If you knocking up the club, they gonna act like they don't even know what Mike Pristone is. They gonna act like that broad, that fresh thought he knocked up. I bet you Fresh's heart dropped when he saw them messages. I already know his heart dropped. He was just like, hell no. Nah. Oh man. Anyways, let's continue reading. Matthew Kasmark, I hope I'm saying the name right, a Texas federal judge appointed by former President Orange Man, initiated this lawsuit along with anti-abortion doctors and organizations. The intent was to pull mifepristone off the market entirely, arguing it was unsafe. Well, it is unsafe long term, right? But like I said, the people in the governments and the people in charge now, they're trying to reel this stuff back, but it's too late because they're realizing now, like in terms of the population is declining, and women don't really want kids like that. So now they're trying to take these things off. They're trying to, the Republicans, right, and the people that are right leaning, they're trying to get these pills, these drugs off the market. These birth control, the abortion pills, these things. They're trying to get these things off the market because they think that's the best way to get the population going again. But that's just not going to work. that's just not going to work. It's just not, like, it's too late. The cat is out of the bag on here. First of all, now like it's pretty clear why women have kids. It's not because they love them. Like, look at how heavy they march for these things. It's clear they don't want kids. So, and then once they do get pregnant, it's almost like you have to ask them, okay, why did you keep this one? It's not because of the kid. It's not because they actually want kids. It's because they don't want kids. So if these same broads, if they get knocked up, you have a right to be like, okay, why did you keep this one? That is a fair question. That is a fair question. In 2024, that is a fair question to be like, okay, why did you keep this one? So we got to read some of these comments. Let me see how much time I got left. Okay, I won't read a whole lot of them. So right here, he said, why not just have protected intercourse? Out here protesting for that, but it's that simple to wrap it up. But like I said, I've also said this. It's up to the woman to tell the man to wrap it up, because it's illegal for a man to stealth a woman. They got laws for that too. So if a woman says to a man to wrap it up and then he takes the condom off without the woman knowing, he can go to jail for that. He can go to, like, he can literally, it's against the law to do that. So, but that's why it's up to the woman to tell the man, you need to wear protection with me, because if you leave it up to open ended, most men they're not going to wrap it up. You see another one that says, honest question, why are so many women and men so passionate about the murder of children? No, why are so many women? Stop, don't put men into that. It's their body, their choice. Remember, we don't have a say. Men don't have a say, so don't put us in there. Talking about why are men so passionate about the murder of children? No, you got to ask, why are women so passionate about the murder of children? Don't put us into that. It's their body, their choice. We have no say. We have no say. Their words, we have no say. So don't put us in there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Who's his profile? Yeah, that's just, it's a man. So he's trying to act like that he's down the middle, but he's trying not to. He's trying his best to make sure that he's not outed as an incel. Oh yeah. By the way, it'd be funny. Like, it'll be these random weirdo dudes calling you an incel online, and then you'll look at their profile, and I'm like, and no disrespect to the incels, but I'll be looking at. I'm like, I'm looking at you, bro. I'm like, you don't even look like women would even be around you. No disrespect. And I'll be looking at his whole. I'm like, it looks like you get zero play, and you're calling me an incel. I'm like, I don't know about that. Anyway, because I didn't been like, being in these public spots where I literally had to be like, I don't know. I've been in these public spots where I literally had to tell women I'm not interested, right? Or just being in a public spot, or being next to people, right? And I can spark up that conversation, right? And then I'll see I'll see some of these same dudes. I guess they think they can save themselves by calling other men incels as a diss, so it can hide their insufficiencies. Because it'll be mostly men that actually look like incels themselves calling other people incels. I'm like, and I'm because it don't be no Chads or no Tyrones or these dudes calling other dudes incels. It'll be these weirdo looking dudes that look like incels themselves, calling people incels. Anyways, somebody said, I'll take it, but the fact that we are even dealing with this or having this discussion in 2024 is wild. Somebody said, because how the fuck y'all going to tell us what we should do with our bodies in the first place? Okay. So they'll say that we are not allowed to do, we can't, they always say we can't tell women what to do with their bodies, but then when they get knocked up, once they get, because it's clear, it's very clear that if a woman gets knocked up, she was trying to get knocked up. It's like it's 100% the woman's choice for her to get knocked up. They have all these pills, all these things, all these fail safe switches, and so this is why, like in 2024, if you getting knocked up, you're choosing to be like I'm talking about without marriage, without protection, without when we talking about premarital sex, right, and all these things, it's clear that you were choosing to be in that position. It's very clear. Because then at the end of the day, once they get knocked up, then they're gonna be like, but the man should. No. It's up to you. It's your body, your choice. Because whenever men try to intervene with these things, then it's all of a sudden it's their body, their choice. But then once they get that, so now they kept this pill. But watch, it's gonna be an NBA athlete knock up one of these 304s, and then she's gonna turn Catholic on your ass. Like what happened to that Page girl, whatever Dream Page girl to Carl Anthony. No, not Carl Anthony. Anthony Edwards. That plus size model, whatever. Then all of a sudden, oh man, I had an abortion before. I didn't want it. I don't want to kill my kid. Then they're gonna turn into that. So I'm telling you, dudes, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that because they're just too. Women are just too logically inconsistent when it comes to this abortion topic. They're just too logically inconsistent when it comes to this. Just too logically inconsistent. And men can be logically inconsistent too, meaning particularly the conservatives, meaning the conservatives will try to ban stuff like this, but then they'll knock up a hooker and then be the first one driving them to the clinic to get rid of the kid. So that's another side of the game that conservatives got to take that L on. But particularly when it comes to abortion, the topic of abortion, just in general, people just people in general, they're just logically inconsistent. Because they'll say, why are men, you see this kind of rare, why are men making decisions about women's bodies? And you'd be like, okay. Then they get knocked up. Then all of a sudden it's our fault again. Now we got to pay for it. It's always their body, their choice. But like Dave Chappelle said, whatever, what about my money, my choice? Nope, we don't get a choice. We don't get a choice. Supreme Court Justice Representative Brett Kavanaugh. Sorry for my cough, guys. He says, we recognize that many citizens, including the plaintiff doctors here, have sincere concerns about and objections to others using mifepristone and obtaining abortions, but citizens and doctors do not have standing to sue simply because others are allowed to engage in certain activities, at least without the plaintiffs demonstrating how they would be injured by the government's alleged under regulation of others. I will say this, because they said by the year, 2030 or 2035, is like 50% of women are going to be single and childless. So remember when we were talking about, how seeking arrangements broads, the OnlyFans models broads, once they get a certain age, they're going to start suing people because they're going to be broke. And they're going to have nothing to show for honing around since they were 13, 14 years old. And they're going to be like age 35 with nothing to show for it. No man, no money. So, and I'll say this is also part of this. All these women that are taking these birth control pills, these abortion pills, they're going to start suing these companies because they're going to act like they have a change of heart and be like, I've always wanted to have a kid and I've realized I wanted a kid. Now that I'm age 35 or 40, I can't have a kid. I was tricked. I was manipulated. That's what's going to happen. That's another part. That's another part of the game that I haven't addressed yet. So shout out to Brett Kavanaugh here for actually bringing that part off. Where because it's going because now that he said it right here, this makes sense in terms of this is going to be another part of the game because women are going to be so happy. They're going to be on some scam artistry stuff. Like you see how like you'll run into the average scam artist that's a man and he's doing things with credit cards, playing on people's phones and shit, right, to get money. Women are going to be suing people and acting like they were manipulated into a certain lifestyle. And I was talking about the OnlyFans models and the the seeking arrangement girls or girls that have been flown out or been Ubered over to ninjas' houses and penthouses and stuff, how they're going to be suing, or they're going to be suing their sugar daddies in the future. I think this is going to be another part of the game where they're going to start suing these birth control companies, right? These companies that sold abortion pills. They're going to be suing clinics because they're going to be single and childless. A lot of them are going to be single and childless, and they're going to have nothing to show for it. So these people are going to be very sue happy in the future, and there's going to be a lot of revisionist history being practiced. And unfortunately, I think conservatives are giving people an out by saying, "Oh man, the negative side effects of taking birth control." Women don't care about that, especially if they're like in their 20s, late teens, even early 30s. They don't care about that. They just want what they want. They just want to have their way right now. Forget the future. They don't even care about that. So once they hit that future, they're gonna talk about how they was manipulated into taking certain pills that ended up messing up with their cycle, and then now they can't have kids. And that's what's gonna happen in the future. So shout out to Brett Kavanaugh for addressing that part of the game. But let me know what you guys think about this quote unquote milestone decision in the